You know, high blood pressure, it's this huge, silent problem that affects people all over the world. But what if one of the best tools to fight it wasn't in a pharmacy, but right there in the produce aisle? Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating study that pits a simple leafy green against one of the biggest risk factors for heart disease. Let's get right into it.
First things first, let's get a handle on just how big this is. This number, almost 1 billion, is how many people around the globe are dealing with hypertension. It is the single most common primary diagnosis on the entire planet. So yeah, finding solutions that are easy and accessible is a pretty big deal.
Which, of course, leads us to this really cool question. We all kind of know that eating vegetables is good for us, right? But could one specific, super common vegetable actually hold a key to better heart health? We're about to play detective and follow the scientific clues. Okay, so to understand what's going on, we need to look beyond just the blood pressure numbers. We're going to go deeper and talk about the health and the flexibility of our arteries themselves.
So think about it like this. Picture a garden hose. A brand new hose is nice and flexible, right? When you turn the water on, it expands a little and handles the pressure. But what about an old hose that's been sitting in the sun? It's stiff, it's brittle, and it doesn't give at all. The pressure inside spikes. Well, our arteries are a lot like that. How flexible they are is a massive predictor of our future heart health. Stiffer arteries mean higher pressure and a lot more work for your heart.
Okay, so how in the world do scientists actually measure this stiffness? Well, they use a tool called the Augmentation Index, or AI for short. It's a fancy way of measuring the pressure wave that literally bounces back from your arteries towards your heart. All you really need to know is this: a lower number is better. A low AI means you've got nice, flexible arteries, and that's going to be our key measurement.
All right, so we've got our problem, stiff arteries. Now it's time to meet our potential hero in this story, and the investigation is zeroing in on a very, very common leafy green.
You know, for a long time, we've known that diets like the DASH diet, that stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, are amazing for blood pressure. But scientists, being scientists, they wanted to know why. What was the secret sauce? They wanted to pinpoint the specific active ingredient in all those veggies that was doing the real work.
And that led them to our prime suspect, dietary nitrate. Turns out, spinach is absolutely loaded with the stuff. And here's where it gets really cool. In our bodies, that nitrate gets turned into something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a superstar molecule that basically tells our blood vessels to chill out, relax, and widen up. And when they widen, pressure goes down and blood flows more easily.
Okay, so we've got our suspects and we've got the how. But you gotta prove it, right? And this is where this study gets really clever. They designed a brilliant experiment that we're gonna call the Great Soup Showdown.
So who were the volunteers for this? Well, they got 27 healthy adults. And get this, these were people with normal blood pressure, not folks who are already diagnosed with hypertension. This is super important because it let the scientists see what effect spinach has on an already healthy system.
And here is the heart of the whole experiment. The setup is brilliant. One group got a soup made with spinach, packed with a whopping 845 milligrams of nitrate. The other group, the control group, got a soup made with asparagus. It looked pretty much the same, but it had almost no nitrate at all, less than 1 milligram.
And this is just chef's kiss. This is what good science looks like. The researchers were so careful. They made sure the two soups were nearly identical in everything else: calories, protein, carbs, even sodium. The only significant difference between them was that one crucial ingredient, nitrate. This way, any effect they saw, they could be pretty darn sure it was because of the nitrate.
They also did something super smart called a crossover design. This wasn't two separate groups. Nope. Everybody got to try both soups. You'd eat one type of soup for a week, they'd take measurements, then you'd have a week off for your body to reset. Then you'd come back and eat the other soup for a week. This way, every single person served as their own control, which makes the final results incredibly powerful.
So the stage is set, the soups have been eaten. What happened? What did they find out about the power of spinach? Well, the results are pretty amazing. Okay, get this. On day 1, literally the first day, just 3 hours after eating that high nitrate spinach soup, bam! There was a huge, significant drop in that augmentation index, our measure for arterial stiffness. Meanwhile, the asparagus soup basically did nothing. This shows an immediate, real, measurable effect from just one meal.
And what this tells us is really important. This wasn't some long-term structural change to the arteries. This was fast. It means that nitrate was having a direct functional effect. It was actively telling the muscles in the artery walls to relax, just like the nitric oxide theory said it would.
But wait, there's more. The story gets even better. After the participants ate the spinach soup every single day for a week, another huge benefit showed up. This time, it was a significant drop in their actual blood pressure. Specifically, their central systolic pressure went down. That's the pressure in the big arteries right near your heart, which is a really important marker for heart health.
So let's just recap the big takeaways here for spinach. 1. An immediate effect. Artery flexibility improved after just a single meal. 2. A sustained effect. Blood pressure actually dropped after a week of eating it. And 3, and this is huge, the body didn't seem to get used to it. The positive effects kept on working just as well on day 7 as they did on day 1.
But just when you think you've got it all figured out, science loves to throw in a plot twist. And it turns out, the control soup, the one that was supposed to be the boring baseline, had a little secret of its own.
Remember, on the first day, the asparagus soup did pretty much nothing for arterial stiffness. But after people ate it for 7 days straight, the data started showing something that nobody was expecting at all.
That's right. After a full week, the low-nitrate asparagus soup also started to significantly improve arterial flexibility. It almost completely caught up to the effect of the high-nitrate spinach. This was a total surprise. The control soup wasn't a neutral control after all.
And I love this part because it shows you how science really works. The researchers themselves pointed this out in their paper. They were like, whoa, wait a minute. What we thought was a do-nothing control might actually be a positive control, just one that works in a different way.
So what did they think was going on? Well, their best guess is that asparagus has other secret weapons in it, like compounds called steroidal saponins. Other research has hinted that these could also help blood vessels relax. So it seems like while spinach and its nitrate give you a fast-acting benefit, asparagus might give you a slower, steady benefit through a totally different pathway.
And that just leaves us with this incredible thought, right? This one study showed a real, measurable, positive change in heart health after just one meal, and even more after just 1 week. It really makes you stop and think, if a simple bowl of soup can do all that, what is the cumulative power of a lifetime of eating these kinds of amazing foods? It's pretty amazing to think about.